Alright, so one more video before we start moving on to the content and the footer of our site. I just wanted to talk about two types of website that you can create, two types of layouts that you have at your disposal. One is a fluid layout, which is a layout that will stretch and shrink to fill your browser window, and the other one is a fixed width layout, which doesn't, it just has a fixed width. So right at the moment, we've up to this point been creating a fluid layout, meaning if I go and resize my browser window, you can see that because I floated this about contact and more info to the right, the division will stretch and shrink to fill the width of my browser window, and then the elements are floated within that. And that certainly has its advantages, the main one being that we know that our website's always going to fill the computer screen. But as you will recall in one of the first videos from this series, every monitor has a different resolution, how many pixels are along the horizontal and how many pixels are along the vertical of your monitor. The downside of fluid layouts is they can cause problems. And you can see as I move my browser smaller and smaller, as the link text, the about, contact and more info, as it touches the tutorial track division, our logo division, all of a sudden it wraps around and sits underneath and our layout becomes broken. So there's workarounds for this if you're going to stick with a fluid layout, but certainly as a beginner learning web design, fixed width layouts I think are a lot easier to work with. So we're going to, in this video, just convert this now to a fixed width design. And to do that, what we need to do is put a division around the entire site. So just above our header division, under our body tag here, we're going to create a division with an ID of wrapper. Once again, we can call this whatever we want, but wrapper is a very common name that it's just something you see a lot. A wrapper division, because it wraps everything, it wraps the entire website. And we close that division right down the bottom, so all of our HTML gets wrapped inside this wrapper division. And for neatness, we really should indent everything there. So our wrapper division contains all of that. Okay, so don't see any change yet until we apply some CSS to that division. So we're saying the wrapper division has a width of, and you might recall we're catering for a 1024 pixel wide screen, so the Photoshop file we made was 970 pixels wide, or thereabouts. So if I just leave it at that for now and show you what that's done, close out. Okay, so you can see it's shortened the website now, so it's a fixed width. All of the divisions now that sit inside our wrapper division are forced to sit inside the wrapper width of 970 pixels. The next thing that we usually want to do if we're creating a fixed width website is to center this entire wrapper now on the screen, so the website sits down the center of the screen. And to do that, we apply a margin of auto, and by specifying an automatic margin, it just looks at our wrapper division, applies a left and a right margin of an automatic width, which in effect applies an equal margin to the left and right side, which centers our website. I'll just save that, preview it now. And you can see the difference here. So we've now got a website that has a fixed width, and as I resize my browser window, instead of our text here wrapping underneath, it just starts to disappear off the edge of the screen. So if someone was to view this website from a very small monitor, they would have a little bit of horizontal scrolling to do, but hopefully we're catering to most computers with a 970 pixel wide design anyway. So that's that. Next video we'll start looking at the content and the footer.